Hello everyone, this is Robert Hollis. I hope you're having a wonderful and blessed day. The title for the video today is Who Owes You? Who owes you? All right. So we'll wait for a little bit of people to get on here and see if I'm streaming. Love talking to all of you. And this one here is going to be pretty amazing because again, it's one of those deals where you got to get the mind right. So I love giving the principles of exactly what you need to do. And now this is a little more on the mindset, the right way of thinking. So hello, my lovely wife. Hi, Kai. So awesome. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get started here. So hi, John. So who owes you, right? One of the things that I know, and I still to this day don't know where I got this, but according to Think and Grow Rich and virtually every book out there that deals with success, we become who we hang around. We become who we're listening to. We become, the message that we constantly surround ourselves. So hi, Ilona. Hi, Pat. And one of the things that we do, and we don't mean to do this, but unfortunately, this is the majority of the people on the planet, is they really truly believe that somebody, something, someone, whatever, owes them something. So, they believe that their parents owe them something. They believe that their siblings owe them something. They believe that their spouse owes them something. If they're working in a business, they think the business owns them something. Correct, Aaron. Hi, Rebecca. Dustin. It's like, my upline. My upline won't help me. My upline won't do this. The company won't provide this. I wish the company would do this. There's not a chat that Josh and Jenna does where they're talking about how exciting the new things that MDC is getting in and how many people, that they're helping. And you look at people like me, and I believe there's over 20 others, including Aaron that's on here, that, has gotten that 7-figure award, 7 figures. And it's like people look at that and then they think in their mind that someone owes them something. Well, I would do this if the company did this, if they would have this product, if they're open in this country. And so while Josh and Jenna are talking about this positive vision of where we're going, you always got someone in there. What about my country? When are you going to get the products in my country? Why doesn't the company do this? Why? Why is the product so expensive? Why is the shipping so expensive? If only if you had the office in my town. I would love to have an office in my town. If you guys only had meetings in my town. Hi, Bill. And you guys will see people, and it's important that God gave you two ears and one mouth. And there's a post I'll probably post tomorrow that, you can get many friends faster in 2 weeks than you did your whole life by being interested and listening to them. But when you listen to them and they're constantly blaming, the reason that this is not happening is because of this. And if only my spouse would support me. And only if the company had an office in I get these messages all the time. Hey, Robert, I'm thinking about opening up this country in this city. Do you currently have any people in that city? Who do you got in this city that I could work with, that's already doing meetings, that's already, doing videos, It's like they're constantly in need of something. And a lot of people don't realize this, but if you're in that mentality, and I think that I seen Jim or maybe Pat, I think it was Pat, that said you're just in this victim mentality. It was Pat. And you don't realize that thinking is a habit. That thinking is a habit. And it even breaks down to the littlest thing. Hey, do you guys know of anyone right now that would like to make 6 figures a year? have freedom, work from anywhere at any place with any electronic device, with our proven marketing system and also our free training, we can show people exactly how to do that. You know, I don't have any time. If I just had more time, if I knew people, I don't know anyone. I'm not a people person. If you guys notice, a person that's in a habit of constantly needing something else to move forward, then you got to realize that that person designed that habit. And let me be bold and honest with you guys. I still do it. To this day, my first reactive thought is, oh my God, if only blah, if only blah, if only blah. And I have to stop that stinking thinking and go, no, I don't need that stuff. Let me give you an example. If I were going to do something, so right now Terry and I are learning how to do Facebook Reels, we're learning to do TikToks, we're learning to do all this crazy media stuff, because when it really comes down to the bottom line, it's your effectiveness of getting a story in front of somebody. You got to get information and stories in front of somebody. So when you hear all these people that are making millions of dollars on YouTube and millions of dollars on TikTok, even people that are in their 70s, 80s, and 90s, you know, that are doing TikToks. And, you know, I didn't know that TikTok, and now according to Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook Reels will pay you money. Did you guys hear that? They'll pay you money for creating content and getting it seen. So what does everyone immediately do? Oh my God, if only someone would show me how to do this. Really? Yeah, if only I could get, Craig or Nicholas or Bill or Aaron, if only I could get these people to show me how to do this. No one's helping me. And there's this phrase that I learned years and years ago. If it's to be, it's up to me. And so just recently, now that I'm venturing in to do this stuff, it's like my mind immediately goes, well, I wonder where I can get a course. I wonder, if I can buy a course. I wonder if I, can maybe hire somebody. Maybe I can hire somebody, like somebody to show me how to do this, or better yet, maybe I could hire somebody to do it for me. Oh, well, I can't hire anybody right now because I don't have any money. And so for that reason, I can't do it. And I just want you guys to be interested in that. One quick story before I go is a lot of you may or may not know, I got taken away from my parents and put in foster homes. And so one of the neat things, and I know he's probably not living anymore, but his name is Ted Johnstone. And one of the foster homes was on an Indian reservation. And one of the weird things about him is similar to a deal that Terry and I watched on Yellowstone. It's like, he set me down, and he was the very first person to say, Robert, listen, he said it different. Usually the phrase is, actually, no one owes you anything. If you can get your thinking where no one owes you anything, then what you do is you take personal responsibility and you start asking yourself a different questions. Every time you say, well, if only if, you just have to change the question in your mind. I say it out loud. How can I make this happen? What do I got to do to make this happen? What's something that I can do creative? Where could I go to learn this stuff? And it always, for me, ends up on YouTube. But a person would rather buy a course from somebody than just go to YouTube, because if they just show us how to do it, then we get frustrated because we say that we're not good at technology. We say that we're not, good at this. And I don't know where the buttons are. For me, I immediately went on my Facebook profile, and I don't know why. Here's where this topic came from. I don't know why I went to personal Facebook. I look at all the buttons and I don't have. Oh my God, I don't have a real button. If only Facebook would give me the real button. Why don't I have the real button? Oh my God, now we got a problem. It's not going to be so easy for me because I don't have a real button. And then we start doing all kinds of stupid stuff. We go, well, I wonder when's the best time to do a TikTok. I wonder when's the best time to do a short video. So some of you may or may not watch the Saturday training that we did along with David Selecki and Dr. Dana McGrady and Todd Falcone. But they had a number of women on there that, gave up the excuses and just figured out what to do. And so immediately I found out that, if I went to my business page, the reel was there. Well, now what people do is they go, well, I wonder how long they should be, and I wonder when's the best time to post, which, by the way, I went through all of this when I created my first social media account, with, what was it? My Friends or MySpace. So the first time I went on MySpace, it's like, oh my God, what do I do? How about just keep trying? And as you're trying, be very conscious that you might be saying it, this is different cult. You might be thinking this is different cult. And so you're going, oh my God, I can't do this. This is so, instead of saying, I'll figure this out. If these people figured it out, I can figure it out. If these people figured it out, I will figure it out. So one of the things that really blew me away is when some of these girls on this Super Saturday training started saying, I know people that just take other people's videos and mix it with their video. So while one part of the video is doing something and someone already created someone dancing, someone falling, someone laughing, whatever crazy TikTok there is, what they were doing is they would just have them on the other side of the video, sort of looking at the video and just making facial expressions while they're watching somebody else's video. And I'm going like, who couldn't promote somebody else's videos? And then I thought, oh my God, that's what allowed me to make all the millions of dollars that I've made for 35 plus years. I'm excellent at promoting and sharing other people's information. So if they got a testimonial, I'll share that. If they, I was thinking today, and some of you are going to laugh at this, but I'm actually doing a training for the company tomorrow at 10 in the morning. And when I shared the post of me doing the training, and Barb Miller is going to be doing it next week, I was going, how many pages of leaders in this company, super affiliates, 500Ks, 250, 100Ks, 50Ks, 25Ks, 10Ks, 5Ks, 1Ks. How many people are promoting other people's trainings on their personal Facebook profile? Wow. And I'm going like, that's what sets me apart, is because I know there's enough for everyone go around. I don't have that, sparsity mentality. I don't have that thought that if I promote other people, that someone's going to take my people. So you guys will notice I'm usually the first to always post whatever Josh and Jenna does on my personal wall, my groups, my Facebook business page. I promote and edify everyone I can as fast as I can. Why? Because I want that in return. If you promote other people, then other people will promote you. Oh my God, you give and you get. The more you plant seeds, the more you get it. And I was scrolling through memories and I was showing Terry this. Terry said she's seen it. But there was actually a contest of one of the people that Ray Higdon shared. And I was learning how to build a blog, and I was doing a number of videos every day. And, I just built this large following very, very quick. I think over 165,000 is probably bigger than that on my Facebook page, and my personal page, like over 28,000. And all of a sudden, what I did is I jumped in and became an affiliate of somebody else's training program for the very first time. And I just put my head down, shared those posts with my affiliate deal, and I won. I won the contest. I created more leads and more sales. And then it came down to the second layer, the second step, and I won that one. I was number one. And then it came down to the closing days. And Ray Higdon at the time had a larger following than me. I was learning from him. And I just think that he just went, this is going to be embarrassing if Robert Hollis, a new client of mine that I'm teaching how to do videos, blog posts, and build a successful blog, I can't allow him to beat me. And all of a sudden he opened up all channels and focused, and he beat me. Well, why did he beat me? Just like all these YouTube people, Instagram people, all these social media, you have to build a following. You have to each and every day give them information that inspires them, makes them laugh. And so, I do that all the time. If you go to my Facebook pages, you guys will see that virtually everything I do is an edification or promotion of something other than me. And I'm just going to tell all of you that works really, really well for me. It really works super well for me. So, I just wanted to share that with you guys, because every one of you, if I'm still doing it, after, 60 years, then you're probably doing it. So just be cautious that, you're saying you can't do this, or I can't move forward and I don't have this. It should just be out loud with your mouth. Now, wait a minute. That's not a true statement. That's what I say. That's not a true thought. That is not a true thought. How can I get this? How can I figure this out? How can I make this happen? Who do I need to contact to give me the next steps to doing this? So I'm always saying questions to my mind out loud with my mouth, and my brain goes, I'll figure that out. Oh, you got a problem that I need to solve? Okay, I'll do that. I'll figure that out. And so I just wanted you guys to understand there's a lot of people out there in the world right now that believes that somebody or something, maybe a government or some agency of a government, everyone usually is sitting around saying, why isn't someone helping me? Why isn't someone helping me? So I didn't finish that quote, but actually no one owes you anything. All my, Ted Johnstone said to me is he's going, Bobby. And I said, yes, sir. And he goes, listen, whatever you really truly want in life, you're the person that has to figure out how to make that happen. And he says, so what are some things that you want? Isn't it funny? Like a couple days ago, on my YouTube channel, I talked about what you want and how to get it. So he's going, Robert, what do you want? And I was like, I don't know. And he's going, listen, whatever you want, you got to do, and it will come to you. You can't sit around and expect life to change for you. You got to set priorities, go after that. He says, I'll help you with one. I said, okay. And he goes, listen, because you don't have good grades in school, you're going to have to study 20 minutes a day for each subject that you're under a C. So if you're C or C minus, that's 20 minutes a subject. If you're a D plus, that's 40 minutes a subject. Because you're not showing me that you can do that. Now, if you want to play sports, you got to be able to have good grades to continue to be relative or get into the sport. And I went, okay, well, I didn't want to spend 40 hours on the subject. So it's funny how all of a sudden, one thought in my mind, I need to focus and pay attention. Don't be distracted. I, always had that, ADD, always dealing with distractions, going all over the place. And I just needed to learn to focus because I realized the teacher usually said what was on the test. And as soon as I applied myself, my grades became a C or higher. I didn't have to study at home no more. And I also was active in a bunch of sports. And so all of a sudden, my life started changing very quickly because one person told me, Robert, you're the person that's going to make the things happen in your life, not other people. I was like, hey, thank you for that piece of information. Probably was 13 years old. So I want you guys to really, really help people that are consistently, I see someone might have posted, they're going fast. Hi, Delroy, Lily, Deborah, Danielle. I don't want to miss anybody here out. But Rebecca, Bill, if I missed you, I apologize, you guys. Tammy, Vicky. It's like you guys need to really help people get that they're in that habit of creating excuses and reasons that they can't do something instead of saying to themselves, I can figure this out. I can figure this out. I can figure this out. Maybe sometimes you could help them. Maybe jump on a Zoom, show them where to go on YouTube, and then create find a video of things that you're trying to figure out. I tell this to people all the time. I don't know how to put a cover photo on my Facebook header that looks good. I see a lot of people that upload an image to it, but they upload it and it's not centered or their head's cut off or something like that. There's a video where you can go to YouTube and say how to create and how to get the right size, graphic. There's companies that actually make Facebook cover photos. And so, it's like, if it's to be, it's up to me. So I really appreciate each and every one of you being on here. Again, I know you can do this. I love and appreciate you. I believe in you. I know you can do this. And if no one's giving you permission to succeed in life, let me be the first. If it's to be, it's up to me. Understand that you need to take personal responsibility for your fulfillment, your happiness, your financial success, your freedom. And I know you can do it because Terry and I have done it. Take care. See you tomorrow.